Last Saturday, Aaron.
And welcome back to episode 136 of the Hit the Showers podcast, presented to you by the Foolproof Entertainment Network. As always, I am your host, Clifford Jordan Jennings. I'm still trying to figure out who he looked like.
Look like money.
I'm telling you, he's a light skinned DDG, man.
You think?
Light bright. Except he ain't got no hands. I'm just saying, I haven't seen it, so I don't have evidence.
I guess I can see that a bit. I don't know, you fuck nigga regardless. Malcolm King in the building.
What's going on, everybody?
Nah shit. We got my guy, the dot connector, Aaron Spencer in the building. How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good, man.
You ain't feeling like Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts. Hey.
I don't know how Mookie Betts is feeling. How that nigga feeling?
Y'all didn't hear about Mookie Betts?
Nah, what happened with Mook?
At the All-Star game. Come on, man. At the All-Star game yesterday, he wore a shirt. That said, we need more black people at the games or something like that. Basically, he feels that he feels that the sport of baseball doesn't have enough black people playing the sport or supporting it. So he had a shirt on, kind of as a message on the All-Star games, talking about it.
I can kind of, in my neighborhood down here, there's 3 perfectly good baseball fields, a little park that they named after somebody who I don't know, right? All niggas really do is do donuts in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's mostly what they do. They shoot videos and do donuts in the parking lot, and every now and again you'll see somebody come out there with a lawnmower, put some bases out there. You'll see, father and son or whoever that may be. But to be honest with you, they use those baseball fields to play football on.
Right. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, that's the mindset I know my dad played baseball in high school, right? My cousin's dad played baseball, my uncle, that's who that would be. But he played baseball in high school. And that was more of a thing to do back in the day. I don't have a lot of friends that played baseball in high school, personally.
And when it comes down to and just to touch on it very quickly because this is a basketball episode, but that is good news. To touch on it very quickly, it's a sport that involves too much equipment. A basketball is all you need to play basketball. A basketball and a hoop, and you don't have to be the one to bring the ball.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. As long as somebody brings the ball, you're good to go. And you got a rim, you're good to go. Football, all you need is the ball in open area, and you're good to go once again.
Your shoes and shit.
But once again, when it comes to baseball, you have to have a glove. You have to have a bat, because everybody's bat's not going to fit to your standards. You feel what I'm saying? Some people's bats are going to be too long. Some people's bats are going to be too heavy.
You gotta have enough balls too.
You definitely got to have enough balls. And that's if you playing in recreationally or in the actual, organized league. Because we all know them balls. You seen Sandlot.
Yeah.
And if you smack one of them bitches hard enough, you won't know where it went.
Right.
Or you'll know where it went, and you just can't.
Right.
Let's go to the other neighborhood and get it. No.
No, I only brought up Mookie Betts too because it came up today on another sports show, and they talked about why doesn't baseball get the same, kind of stigma as like basketball and football with people.
It's not about stigma; it's about interest.
Yeah, interest is the word, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's just that simple. It's really just that simple. It involves there's too many pieces involved or equipment that I need. And that's not always rentable equipment. At least with football, I can rent you pads. Can't really rent somebody a glove that has to fit your hand.
Right.
Once again, the bat situation. Unless you just stocked up on bats, chances are a child ain't going to find a bat that fits them well enough to perform the way they can. Go ahead, Aaron.
I was going to say, but still these third world countries managed to make the best baseball players. Cuba. Not third world. Let me not say that.
Right.
But
outside of the U.S.
I said Cuba, Dominican Republic, Mexico. You just name them all. Puerto Rico.
Japan. I mean, a lot of
I think it's a lot like because even football is a game that you can play with your friends. But if you want to play in an actual football league, you gotta get pads. Niggas gotta pay for helmets and shit. You know what I'm saying? All that's a factor. So there has to be a love for it because people love football up here, to where they're willing to do more, I guess, in the black community for football.
I mean, I think once again, it's all about benefit as well. So once we get past the equipment and everything that you need to play, then it comes down to benefit. What's the benefit of me playing baseball over basketball and football? And not to sound funny, but
you get paid way more in baseball than
you definitely do, but you could also be sacrificing your benefit, right? Because your benefit, usually coming from the inner city, tends to be athletics or competition with athletic kids. So you usually, end up keeping up. Now, if my biggest attribute is speed, but I can't hit the ball, I just sacrificed my talents. You feel what I'm saying? There's no point in me playing if I can't hit the ball, unless I'm just a pinch base runner
or a fielder,
right? Or a fielder.
You wasn't still have to have that.
But even with a fielder, it's somewhat of a game of chance. Because if no balls come to me and I don't get to make any catches, then I don't really get a good enough highlight reel to let them know why it's worth letting me play for you, other than I'm fast.
Right.
That would be like a fault of having a great pitcher. Like if your pitcher's great and he just be, striking niggas out left and right, you're going to be out there bored as fuck.
Right. I know what you mean. But, that's, once again, to people who love baseball, that's just as interesting. Somebody pitching a shutout is just as interesting as home runs getting smacked left and right.
It's actually more true. It's way less, happens a whole lot less.
No, right.
No hit. It's happened a lot, of course, with the history, but Major League Baseball has been around for like 130 years or some shit like that.
Right. I mean, it's a pastime. And then you think about football, why these countries that you name don't pick up on football. I mean, think about the athletes that the United States produce. The size, the speed, all of that. It's a lot of countries that can't compete with that. Especially if we're talking about putting on pads and hitting. So let's try to take them in baseball, which is more strategic. Doesn't really take size. You can win off wit, strategy. You feel what I'm saying?
That's definitely Japan's.
So that's the reason why you see a lot of that. But getting to basketball, I wanted to bring up. I guess we can knock out the easy work early. So there's currently a list of top existing free agents in the that are still on the market right now. All these people that I'm about to name, I will say, seem to be role players. Like all the free, there's a reason. Basically, what I'm getting at is there's a reason why they're still on the market. Outside of, I'll say the last one on the list. But first was LaMarcus Aldridge with the Nets.
Mm-hmm. You might need to bag it up.
I don't know though. He averaged 12.9 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 9.9 assists.
You got some left, but
how many games are you gonna play as well?
If you don't have no good offers, this is a time where it's like, well, I'm gonna step away from the game. It's around that time. He may not do it this year, but it's coming. And if you don't get no good offers. He doesn't want. He's on the Nets right now, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to stay there.
And I mean, I guess my next question would be: have you been, or are you now willing to receive a vet minimum?
Like I said, he has to like it. If it's a championship situation, I would imagine yes.
But like you said, at this point, it could almost be time for him to hang it up, right? So what's the chance of you even being selected by a championship caliber team? And I'm not saying the Nets aren't. They're not. But I'm not saying that they're hella far from where they stand as we speak. But
so LaMarcus Aldridge, right? He's 37 years old. Actually, interesting.
His 36, birthday, I thought.
His birthday was yesterday.
My birthday next week. Same age, nigga.
Damn.
37 next week.
Well, so he's y'all's age or whatever. He's 37. So to y'all's point.
First of all, I'm about to be 36 in August. Don't play with me.
That's right. That's right. You're 86. That's right. So Aaron, you're. Okay.
You did 37, mother. Not just. I mean, either way.
I'm talking about myself. I didn't bring your shit up.
Right.
Well, anyways, basketball or sports wise, definitely up there, right? He was the one that retired. Was it last season briefly due to health scare, and then he came back.
Issues with his heart.
You're right. With all that being said, you're 37. You technically still have some kind of heart issue out there. I don't think anyone really.
Wait. But is the issue still out there? Because
it's always been there. It's never been corrected. It just subsides. It just subsides for a little bit, but it's not like fixed or corrected.
Is that the case? Because this is the first time that I know that he's been out with a heart issue.
He held it in. He didn't tell. There's a lot of athletes that do that. They don't come out and tell. So Aldridge has played according to Google, his entire career with Wolff Parkinson White disease, a heart condition that causes a rapid or irregular heartbeat.
That disease sound hard as a motherfucker. It's called Wolff
Parkinson White disease.
White disease. Damn.
You stupid. That nigga is dumb.
To your point, Cliff, LaMarcus Aldridge had claimed that he had it under control for years, but a tough game and scary night led to his abrupt retirement. Kept it on the low for a long time. Didn't need it.
I ain't gonna stunt. That either sounds like there is a lack of truth there, or quite honestly, it just sounds soft as fuck. Like, because don't get me wrong, there was times where he was with Lillard and they were making it close to, playoff games. You just got, well, no, I'm talking, what was the year before? The year before.
San Antonio?
Well, no, not San Antonio. It was last year. Was it last year that he went out?
Yeah.
LaMarcus.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me that you had a tough game? You had a tough game that made your heart flutter, fluctuate, whatever happens, to the point that you couldn't control it and you had to retire for a while, but you haven't had harder games prior?
I guess he thought he was going to die. I guess once, everybody knows their body, I guess.
But don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to sound like I'm being hard on him. Based on that statement, what did he say?
Let me go back.
Yeah, please, because he said a hard game. What? Go ahead.
So he told somebody in June, this is of last year, he had it under control for years, but a tough game and scary night led to his abrupt retirement.
Okay, so I didn't catch the scary night. We don't know what happened the evening prior, and he doesn't seem to be alluding to.
Mm-hmm.
So let me retract that. I'll retract that for now. I'll retract that statement for now of it sounds like some soft shit, because we don't know what happened the night before and you're being real cryptic with your answer. So we'll move on from that.
So with that, though, just to clarify a little bit more, April 10th, I'm assuming again last year in a game with the Nets, LaMarcus Aldridge experienced an irregular rhythm the whole game that he hadn't experienced in the past. So I guess he's never.
Oh, like it kicked in and was like, oh shit, this shit ain't stopping.
Yeah. So he said it was never irregular during games and he couldn't get himself going. His heart rate did not improve at the hotel, and he spent the hours from 2 to 5 in the morning trying to evoke some breathing.
Oh, okay. So that's what he meant by a scary evening, is that it was still the same condition he was suffering from leading up into the game.
That's why I said, yeah.
And I'm not, I have a lot more, empathy for a situation like that, but I still feel like it was mismanaged, because if that was the case, you should have alerted the trainer and the coaching department to let them know I'm still playing, but this is what I'm dealing with. So it may come a time where I need to take a breather, a seat, whatever. Because why would you play the game in general if you were dealing with something like that?
I guess, like we said, I mean, if any of us have an injury, but it's not bothering you.
I get what you're saying, but my whole thing is he said that it never happened while he was playing games, but led all the way up to.
Well, see, here's
not up to, but the night he was dealing with it the night before.
The way I'm interpreting, I can't tell if they're talking about after the game, from 2 to 5 in the morning, it wasn't letting up, or if it was the night before. I can't really tell.
It sounds like from what you're saying, I'm interpreting it as he was dealing with that the night before the game, leading up to the game. Don't know if it stopped in the morning. Don't know if it stopped closer to the start of the game. But he also said he's never had it happen during the game. So yes, I do agree with you. The way my mind works is I'm going to attempt to play this game because it's never happened during a game. But once it kicks in, I may need to sit down. That's why I say it's a mismanagement of the situation, and he should have let them know. Because if I do recall correctly, it was he left a mid-game situation when he left last year.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he finished the game and the game was over, and the next game he decided he's not coming back. I believe he left the game.
I want to say so as well.
And that's if my mind's serving me correctly. I could be wrong.
Yeah. So I don't know. To answer your wrap it back around, I don't know if anybody picks him up per se.
Other than the Nets.
Other than the Nets, yeah. I don't know that he gets looked at due to all of that.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I agree. I agree with you both, especially you, Aaron. If I was LaMarcus Aldridge, I'd be talking to the front office like, what do y'all need from me? You know what I'm saying? Like if you have to, if you need to offer me less than what you paid me last year, I'm fine with that. Just let me know what you need from me. You said what?
I watched that Winning Time shit.
Nah, what's that?
The Lakers.
The Lakers on HBO. It's like a little.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to check that out.
I mean, it's kind of fictionalized, but the way
and Magic Johnson and all them.
Yeah. The way they portray Spencer Haywood is like that is the point. Not that LaMarcus Aldridge is anywhere a drug addict, but that level of career where it's like if I come back, I'm coming back to win something.
Right.
You all want to win, because if not, I could just go take care of my kids at the house.
Right.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. Do you think that that's where his head is at?
I don't know. So I don't know. That's just like if I was him in his shoes, and like, okay, so I stayed with the Nets, but the team end up getting stripped butt naked. So Kevin Durant leaves, Kyrie leaves. Now it's just me and Ben Simmons.
But it's a potential that that won't take place. And even if that does take place, I do feel like you still need veteran leadership in your locker room regardless. Look at Udonis Haslem. That nigga ain't stepped out on the court in, 3 years? But he's on the bench because you need that veteran leadership.
Hopefully that's the case.
I don't know. But
if you're a GM, and I don't know what the cap space is or how much is getting paid, but you have to kind of look at LaMarcus and tell me, like, just out of respect, what do you want to do? Like, let me know.
I mean, but those stats aren't bad. 12.9, 5.5, and 0.9 on assists.
Okay, but if you got heart problems like that.
I mean, you got heart problems, so to speak, but last year was the only year that we had an issue out of you. So I don't know if I'm so quick to hang him up just yet. Especially when you can still show production in those stats. Next up, though, Carmelo Anthony of the Lakers. Very similar stats when you look at it. 13.3 points per game, 4.2 rebounds per game, 1.0 assists per game. I would say the only difference is LaMelo proved to be a little bit more reliable, like throughout the season, than a LaMarcus Aldridge. So those stats make more sense to me. But what you
Carmelo?
Do you think the Lakers are going to pick him back up?
No.
You think they're going to let him go?
Yeah, there's no need to bring him back. He's actually been spending a lot of time with his son right now and going to different basketball games.
Yeah, I've been seeing that. But all of them have.
Yeah, not LaMelo. Oh, you got me. I think Carmelo, I think he knows that his time is pretty much done. I think he's hoping he gets a call from somebody. But also...
You're being very tough tonight.
Look him up. Well, he's 38 years old, Cliff.
On the real though, he's mocking you a little. I'm on your side on this. Carmelo kind of like, hey.
Nah, for what he does, he is still, once again, very productive. Now he's not gonna play a whole game, but if you need somebody that's just gonna stay on the sideline and take corner threes, set screens, and move to openings, that is for a bench, I would say, that's Carmelo Anthony. Especially when you look at players that are making a living at the starting position doing that. That's still productive.
I understand what you're saying. I'm talking about the love of the game. I don't see it as much. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's transitioning out. Like, I'm just old.
Definitely transitioning out, but I do still I think that there's still some moisture in that rag. Like, I don't think that you've wrung that rag out. And I don't mean for it to sound like that. You know what I mean?
That's a good GM speech.
Well, his 38, Cliff.
This nigga's ass from not retiring this year.
His 38 is going to be a different 38 than LeBron's. So I could talking LeBron at 38. I could see that potentially because he's a little different. He's an exception, but
he hasn't slowed down, right?
Carmelo at 38, He just
But
turned 38 2 months ago.
I get it. But for what he does, just standing in a corner and shooting, that doesn't really matter.
But why get a 38-year-old when I can just go get one of these young bucks?
The question is, how much are you willing to accept? Because once again, if you're offering a vet minimum, that's once again veteran leadership that I would like on my team.
Yeah, but I don't know if Carmelo's willing to just go anywhere and do that.
So Carmelo's a welcome addition to the Cavs.
I mean, I wouldn't turn him down if we had space and he's accepting a vet minimum. Like, and it doesn't really matter with, like, the moves we're making. Yeah, of course.
All right.
Of course.
Ooh, the ESPYs are on tonight. I forgot.
What's that? The sports, awards?
ESPYs been around for like 50 years or so.
The sports
like,
awards shit.
It's like the Grammys of the sports world.
Right.
Yeah. You already know who the host is. That boy Chef Curry.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that.
We got the bay in the background and shit.
I kind of like that, actually. Well,
check that out later.
We'll check it out, cover it. May have to touch on that on the Saturday show. But next up, you said what?
He's washed up, man.
Who? Melo?
I love Carmelo. I've watched him since Syracuse, but he's
gotten one or two scoring titles though in his career, hasn't he?
I didn't say he's never had any success. I said he's washed up. Never said he wasn't successful. We know what he did in New York. We know what he did in Denver.
Carmelo's a top 75 player ever played the game, man.
Right. And I agree with that, man. Next up, Montrezl Harrell of the Hornets.
Somebody will pick him up. I'm just not sure who, or he won't be a starter. He'll probably be a off the bench kind of guy.
None of these players are starters other than, like I said, the last person on the list.
Montrezl used to be initially on the Clippers before he left.
Every single player that we're naming on this list used to be.
Oh, you're just saying they're current. Okay, I see what you're saying.
And I thought I prefaced that before we talked about it. I said I don't see any of these people being a standout or anything other than a role player.
Montrezl could start somewhere, though. He definitely could. I just don't know where.
Montrezl Harrell is
I don't think he could start anywhere.
He's a Taj Gibson type.
He could start in Houston.
Tristan Thompson type.
Only reason why I don't say
he's gonna be productive.
He's gonna be productive. Okay, from that aspect, I can understand what you're saying. But the only reason why I disagree is because Taj Gibson could shoot. First of all, he had a run for a while, and they were equal in the willingness to do dirty work. Montrezl Harrell beats him out on edge, but Taj beats him out on shooting, scoring production.
I said there wasn't gonna be differences. I'm saying the approach to the game.
I understand what that makes sense though.
What you would probably describe as a garbage man, coming in, clean shit up, dirty work. What are you gonna say?
And I don't think he would say that's different.
Well, I'll take Montrezl Harrell on the Bulls.
Actually, Cliff,
we've had him, and I would.
Montrezl Harrell's stats are way better in comparison than Taj Gibson's stats were. Taj Gibson even played longer. I just can pull them both up.
I'm not going.
Yeah, like the total, like career stats.
Yeah, Taj averaged about 9 points per game career-wise, while Montrezl averages at least 12.9.
Right, and
Taj Gibson is a very respectable Bull. His jersey somewhere back there. I lost him.
He did his things with the Bulls.
Nah, the only thing I'm gonna say about that is for people for garbage men type players, the longer you play in the league, your stats will fall off. That's all you're there for, is to be a good. Once again, we just named, and I wish Q was here. We named Udonis Haslem.
Yeah.
Who is a trash guy.
He's a trash.
I don't want a garbage player. Because I'm not saying for people listening that he's trash. I'm saying that he's on the court to pick up the trash, to do the dirty work that the elite players aren't going to do.
The recycler.
Right. The Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors.
Oh, Draymond got 4 of them things. He sits at a certain table. Draymond.
Hey, I'm
right. No, but that's what he is. He's the best version of what you would describe as a garbage man.
Side note, I really want to make a petition to make Tracy McGrady replace Draymond Green on the top 75.
I remember we talked about this, and I don't think there's any reason why Tracy McGrady shouldn't be on the top 75.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's kind of, no offense to Draymond, but hey, if I gotta switch you out.
Nah, but you can't remove Draymond.
Well, I'm willing to stand up to that debate. I'm not a fool to know that he's not a great basketball player. But that was just a side note.
Right.
Gotta put my man T-Mac in there, man.
Okay. I'm glad you said that, though. Next up, Dennis Schroeder of the Houston Rockets.
He wants to play with LeBron again. He shot his shot on Instagram recently.
That's so ignorant. That's so fucking ignorant.
I miss you, dog.
Right, like that's so fucking ignorant, man. And then it's not like what that sounds to me like is a young lady for me censoring that you've had an experience with or history with, and it didn't end well. And then after a while, they try to send a message or a phone call or something. But the difference is there's no... Well, I don't know. It's not always a difference. Sometimes it's very accurate. That there's no temptation there. What's the temptation of LeBron to even want to accept that call if it came through? To use my analogy.
Disparity, being desperate. If he is in fact desperate, how some people describe that situation.
I would rather keep Russell.
I don't blame him.
I would rather keep Russell than ever bringing a bench point guard back to my team.
It's the lesser of two evils, nigga.
And I'm not saying that Russell might not end up being on track to being a 6-man. But I'd much rather have Russ as a 6-man than Dennis Schroeder as a 6-man in any situation. So that's crazy. Last one, Colin Sexton. Colin Sexton still has not been picked up by the Cavs. Out of all those free agents, he's by far the best. And I'm not even saying that because he's a Cavalier. By far the best. 24 years old. Was averaging over 20 since he came to the league. Only time he didn't was this past year where he only played 11 games. The guy that dropped 41 on the Nets' big three to get the game winner for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And that was their opening game. The first time they ever played together. And you let little old Colin Sexton come out there and do that to you.
Well, if he's not getting signed or picked up by anybody at the moment or so quickly,
it's by design.
There may be something behind the scene that we don't know about him. He may be a tough teammate. He might be tough to deal with.
Well, I don't know if that's the case whatsoever. I think that the very accurate assessment, if you were looking at it, is the fact that you only played 11 games. You feel me? You missed out on 72 games? You missed out on 72 games last year with an injury. That's what it is. I don't want to start placing, negatives on him like he may not be tough to... You didn't play 72 games last season. So we don't know that we're going to get back to Colin Sexton if I'm another team. If I'm Cleveland, that's the perfect situation for you to be in, because what you've now done is you set him out on the wire like you're fishing, but you're reeling it in before anybody can get a bite. You feel what I'm saying? You're making the bait feel like nobody wants me, when we don't know that to be accurate. The only thing is, right now it doesn't make sense for someone to want you. So what they're doing is developing a chip on his shoulder. Look, Alan, I don't know if there's a lot of teams out there that are thinking that you're going to come back from this injury the way you were before you started.
Right.
Looks like you may have to stay with us, and if you're going to prove it to them, this would be the time to do so.
Yeah. It could be by design.
Oh, it is by design. I will say that. And at the same time, they even reported he's likely to return to Cleveland. There's interest on both sides for them to return. He just wanted to, of course, put his name out there because he was up for that max deal this year, and you came off of an injury. I'm not even going to equate that to the football thoughts, but
I would say he benefited off of y'all not having too many national games. Like, whenever he was playing a lot, I never really saw it. So down here, Colin Sexton, you had to really bring this nigga up to me and be like, check him out.
I get what you said, but this is also a motherfucker in his sophomore season that was averaging 24.3 a game.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
As an undersized guard, a 6'1" guard.
What I'm trying to say is they have, like, how many national games, though, does Cleveland have? 2, maybe? Like, as far as being nationally televised?
They got more than that. No. They got more than that. I think, not much, but I do think that I remember.
4, maybe?
Right. I think that's probably closer. But we may split the difference, and it may be 3. Let's be honest. I'm not trying to split hairs here, but I get what you're saying. But I don't know how he would benefit from that.
Exposure, fans, tickets.
Right, but the people in the game, the people who crunch the numbers, right, like we do, they don't give a fuck if it wasn't nationally televised. You're on my radar. You came across my reports multiple times.
I'm just saying, like, as far as a business decision, if you're selling seats, right? If you're
going from that standpoint, I get what you said.
I'm going to get you on my
hit him with the
team.
Kevin Hart. Okay, I get that.
Well, all I'm trying to say is it's also a business, and a lot of these niggas, a lot of these people, I'm trying to relinquish that word.
I get what you're saying too.
Yeah,
these people.
Well, all I'm trying to say is that there is a lot of people trying to make a way off of that. And
so, wait a minute, because if I'm following correctly, then are you saying that there's a thin line between, I guess that is accurate, winning and making my money or securing my spot?
Damian Lillard will tell you that.
Well, I'm not thinking from a player's perspective, because a player doesn't have much on the line, especially a Damian Lillard. Aside from a freak injury, your spot's solidified for the next few years.
Right.
Something happened between them, though, too, right?
But Portland and Dame?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We might have to look that up, but nothing that crossed my radar too tough for me to, bite. But the only reason why I brought that up is because from a front office, a business standpoint, that's your production. That's your points per game. Is making the right decisions, the right moves. And like Aaron said, a Colin Sexton may not bring asses in seats, which is a yellow flag. Skill level may be higher than normal for somebody his age, but the fact that you missed 72 games drops that back down to a red to orange flag. So at this point, it's like the guy that says, nah, fuck that. And I thought that he would have made a good fit in Dallas, but I didn't want to let him go. But the guy that's willing to make that decision, if it doesn't pan out, you're not Damian Lillard. Your spot's not solidified. Sorry, but by the 23-24 season, your job is no longer here. And they're not willing to make those risks. So like Aaron said, sometimes the business aspect comes into play. Because I know that even if I didn't make the best selection, the fact that these people are showing up to see him, that helps, that gives me a few points. Yeah, we didn't have the most winning season, but look at how much money we made. That helps him out a bit. That buys you a little bit more time.
Cliff, you never mentioned how James Harden's an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah, I said he was on the list. He was number 3 on the list after Melo. But he's also expected to re-sign with the Rockets just for a lower contract.
Right.
To make room. Not the Rockets. I said the Rockets. I mean the 76ers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just trying to make some more room, so he's expected to re-sign for a lesser contract.
So are y'all trusting James Harden in the playoffs next year?
No, I'm not trusting James Harden in the playoffs in general.
Okay. Right.
No. Is this change?
He's yet to prove postseason to me. So, in other news, aside from that, no Kevin Durant trade close to happening.
Nope.
Yeah, Nets report they are no longer aggressively making calls for any trade involving Kevin Durant, but they're still accepting them.
If you gambling, what team do you think he's on? Does he stay in net? The Suns is out the question.
I know Philly was a point of interest for a while for KD. I don't see that happening. I think if he goes anywhere, he's going to Miami.
To the Heat.
Miami's the only team right now that I think has the pieces. Not necessarily the future, like the trade assets, but they do have the pieces enough to accommodate what I think the Nets would ask for in Kevin Durant. I think they're the closest one to having the pieces, let me put it that way. Because we know how much Philly just gave away in that trade with Ben Simmons off the rip right there.
I don't think he goes to Philly because that's too close to Virginia.
I mean, but he's from D.C., ain't he? I mean, I know it's all the same area, but...
DMV area.
I know, yeah.
I'm not sure which one he is. It might be Maryland. I don't know.
I'm trying to say right as well, but I thought it was DC. But I think you are correct. I think it is DC.
All right. Well, anyway, Miami seems like my most likely destination for him. It seems like the best of both worlds. Not only am I in a good place, I can win, but I'm also in a beautiful place. I've been in Oklahoma City, Seattle.
I don't know if you can put Seattle there. Like, yeah, he was drafted to them, but they weren't in concession long enough.
This nigga was a supersonic.
For the hottest minute possible. But I don't think you can. And then Seattle then was absorbed by OKC, correct?
Right, exactly.
So it's the same. It's the same team. But it's the same team.
Seattle's a little bit better.
No, I would, and I heard that they're supposed to be bringing Seattle back as well as adding another expansion team into the NBA in the next couple of years.
That'd be 32 teams?
Yeah, 32. But yeah, I read that. I can't remember where they said the expansion team would be coming from, but they did say they were bringing Seattle back. Or planning to. But that's the same team.
Miami is the best place he's ever going to be able to play.
Right.
And he might take this is KD. KD is a live wire, and I don't know what this man be doing for real. So.
No, I agree. I agree with that. But let me ask y'all a question. If the Nets end up bringing back Kyrie and KD, and you see Ben Simmons back out on that court next year, where do you see them ending in the East?
Not far. There's not going to be any chemistry there. There's no chemistry. Kevin Durant's fed up with Kyrie Irving, allegedly.
That's not true.
That's why I said allegedly. Allegedly, the reason why KD wanted to ask for that trade out of Brooklyn was because he didn't want to play with Kyrie no more. That's what allegedly was stated today on some of the sports shows, some of their theories that they have.
If it was stated just today, then that's different information. But it was just a few days ago, him stating I would be willing to play with KD or James Harden or Kyrie if it was under any other circumstance.
Because you got to think this information with KD wanting to leave came out after Kyrie decided to re-sign his contract, right?
No.
KD came out before and then Kyrie signed. Are we sure about the timeline?
Yeah, Kyrie announced first that he wanted out. And then KD announced that he wanted out.
Right.
Okay, but KD never changed his stance after Kyrie ended up saying I'll re-sign with the Nets, right? KD never said, well, never mind. I guess I'll stay.
No, he never switched back up.
So now they're trying to
somebody got to be talking to each other. Like, man, look, what the fuck you trying to do? Like, are you gonna stay in that?
Period. Right.
Because I'm out here in the streets looking stupid.
Right.
Ideas and shit.
And let me tell you why that's just bullshit from ESPN. Because think about all those postseason games that Kyrie went off and dropped 50 and all that. And who did you see on the sidelines cheering like he was his girlfriend?
Friendships can change, Cliff. They change all the time.
But what would change that? Because you got to think about it. If I don't have a Kyrie and I do have to stay, because it's not like KD's a free agent, who else is there that I would care to play with? He's then going to rely on Seth Curry? Are you going to cross your fingers and toes and eyes that Ben Simmons returns? Who's then the guy? It doesn't make sense for KD to be like, yeah, Kyrie's the reason I wanted out, just because he hasn't switched up and said, yes, I want to come back. They both said that they had an issue with the coaching. They haven't announced any changes made to that coaching situation.
Nigga Steve Nash be like, all right, y'all, pass the Kevin Durant or something.
Right. So, of course, you spin the narrative if you don't want everybody to point back at the guy that everybody's been saying they had a problem with. Because, once again, somebody in the back office made that decision. And what did we say? You're not Damian Lillard. Your spot's not solidified, sir. So if everybody starts pointing their fingers at Steve Nash like, well, the star player said that you were the issue, why all of a sudden are we looking for a different narrative to spin because KD just didn't switch his stance and say, okay, I'll come back with Brooklyn?
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
Just out of curiosity. You know, fantasy draft.
But I'm not saying that can't be true.
Because why would KD want to play with Kyrie again if Kyrie don't get the vaccine? How do we know that Kyrie won't do what he did last year?
They lifted that. And Aaron, keep your thought. They lifted that. You heard Wiggins after he got his championship and All-Star season say, at the end of it all, I just wish I didn't get vaccinated.
But there's rumors saying that we could very well go back to restrictions very soon.
That's possible.
So go ahead, though, Aaron.
That's possible, but I don't know if that would be. But go ahead. Especially when you think about how much LA still trying to work something out for him. They're not. If California, of all places,
those talks have died down, Cliff. That's realistically
still going on, though.
But I don't think
still
so.
in talks. As of what I looked up today, still in talks.
They already made a vow with the big three recently to try to stick together. That's what
they didn't make a vow. They had a conversation to talk about everybody's commitment to making it work with the team.
Commitment is a vow, Cliff.
Man, stop fucking bullshitting, Malk. When has LeBron ever? The closest person that could have made a vow with LeBron was Dwayne Wade. And what happened? He came to Cleveland and told LeBron, vow or not, bruh, I gotta go back to Miami. and left.
Well, that's
Who
the
else?
difference in
Who else
factual
means
situation.
enough for LeBron to make a vow
It's
to
not
anyone?
LeBron. It's not LeBron's decision, Cliff. I've told you, and so is Q. It's Jeannie Buss's decision.
So
It's the
did she
Lakers.
try to make a vow or a pact with them? What are they gonna do next? Cut their hands and dap each other up, Mal?
She's running shit like her daddy.
Man,
She's
stop.
saying that
Ain't no vows.
She's saying we're keeping Westbrook, and y'all better. You ask for him, just like a kid.
And I get that. I get that. But because they had a conversation that went well, and this is the first known time that they had a conversation, mind you. So you mean to tell me out of all those egos in that conversation, that the first conversation they had, they said, bro, we going to end this with a vow. And we going to vow to stay together.
I'm
and
not
you
talking
think
about
for one moment. No, I'm talking about this season. And if you think for one moment that something does not open up to where it's more probable that they have a good opportunity at Kyrie Irving, they're not going to take that?
No, Cliff, because you can't ship out for Westbrook's contract. Nobody wants to take on his $47 million.
Right. And right now they are currently looking for a 3-team deal with somebody else to take on that contract. So once again, my question is, if it becomes more probable that there is a path for the Lakers to get Kyrie Irving, do you think they take it? Factually, they take it.
I think they take it, but what do they get out of it?
All I wanted to say, just slide in, is if you had a team, number 1, number 2 pick, Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving.
Damian Lillard, that's easy money. He's more durable. I want durability and greatness. He has both. Kyrie is great, but he's not durable. He's not always in the mindset to play.
I would say durable. He's just not going to show up to class.
If you tell somebody this game doesn't mean much to me, but you need to pay me X amount of dollars to play it, and I'll play when I want to, I don't want that guy.
I agree with Malk with I picked Dame first. I don't think that durable is by far the right word. I think the right word is loyal to the game / organization. Dame Lillard has shown loyalty since the moment he came into the league out of Florida.
Stay true to the game.
You feel what I'm saying? He said Portland it is. And
even Kyrie does get hurt more than Damian Lillard does. They were talking about
it's not even about hurt, like Aaron said. Like sometimes he just doesn't want to show up to the game. Sometimes I need a mental health break. He doesn't show up to class.
Right.
That's what Aaron was saying, and it's not skill wise. I would pick Kyrie if he had the same loyalty to the game as Dame. But the fact that Dame is that diehard for his organization and the people around him, willing to put himself out there, that's what gives him the edge, in my opinion, for me to take him one over Kyrie.
Funny is y'all pick the same nigga.
No, I agree with that 100%. I just don't think durability was the right word. Nigga. I think Kyrie knows he's as skilled as he is. I think he knows that he has the blessing of the last great that walked these courts. And I think he feels like, because I'm the star of the school, I don't have to put in as much as an effort as you guys. And my whole thing is, I think Dame is that guy that's on the other school that's like, I'm going to break him off every chance I get because I know I'm better than him because of these reasons. And I go with that attitude over the guy that thinks he's the shit and I play when I play. I go with the guy that's like, nah, I'm going to bust your ass every time I see you, period.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Kyrie is like Shep from above the rim, right?
It's like who from above the rim?
Shep.
Who is that? Who's
Shep. Shepherd.
Oh, the guy. What's his name?
Kyrie. No shit like that.
Right.
You look around and nigga gone. What happened to Shep? He go.
Tupac was his brother in the movie.
Nigga just show up on championship. Hey, just let me play. Nigga wearing Dickies and shit.
Right. Okay, I'm following.
He's just I'm not saying he's weird. His approach to the game of basketball is uncommon.
Who, Kyrie's?
Yes, it's uncommon.
I mean, I guess that I don't know, but I think that's a very common mindset. I think that there's a lot of players that have graced this league that didn't have the work ethic of a Kobe, Jordan, or LeBron that fizzled out because of it. I think that's very common. I think it's only uncommon because you have a guy as good as Kyrie that can still produce, that people are willing to give chances to.
Right.
And I apologize to my audio listeners. My guy Q dropped in the building. How you feeling?
What up, Q?
Feeling good. Busy Wednesday, but we making it.
So I want to ask you, it's definitely been a busy one. I ain't even going to stunt you on that. But I want to ask you, because you might not have been on when we started the conversation. I asked, if the Nets end up with KD and Kyrie back on their team, and you get a return of Ben Simmons, where do you see the Nets ending in the East? And I don't remember or recall receiving your answer as well, Aaron. I know Malk said he doesn't think that anything's going to pop with that regardless because of the chemistry aspect.
And the coach. I mean, y'all sticking with
I think that falls into chemistry, to your point. So I can definitely agree with that point, or not. I won't say agree, but I can rock with that way of thinking. But how do you feel about it?
You talking about Q, right?
Either or, but Q is who I addressed. But go ahead, Aaron.
I was just gonna say I don't really think there is I don't have a good definitive answer, because if you have Kyrie and KD, how do you lose, right?
Well, I mean, that's a great question. My only response is that was one of my concerns when they came over there, is how well do you play together?
How do you lose? You go against Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton and them, and go against niggas who's really about that and go and play game in, game out. And
they got swept by Boston.
A couple years ago, it was just a tone.
They got swept by Boston.
But we're talking.
Granted, there were injuries involved, but go ahead.
They also got swept by Milwaukee.
But what?
The Nets got swept by Milwaukee in the playoffs this year.
Nah, that was Boston, wasn't it?
No, it was. Or was it?
It was Boston.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Boston.
Okay.
And I only say that because Boston went on to play in the finals. So if you add in somebody like Ben Simmons, who's made first team all defense multiple times, a 6'10" facilitator that doesn't really want the shot himself, there's a potential that works. I don't know how far they go in the East. I guess to answer my own question, there's a shot. I mean, if you had a shot without, it almost seems to me, and I hate to compare it, almost seems to me like the first Golden State Cavaliers appearance when everybody was hurt but LeBron James. And then everybody started questioning the entire big three or structure of. And the very next year they came back and won the entire thing. I'm not saying I think the Nets are on that same level, but it kind of strikes me as a similar comparison, because we haven't seen a healthy Nets, let alone a healthy Nets with another all-star like Ben Simmons, if he chooses to play. That's why I said cross your fingers, toes, and eyes and hope you see Ben Simmons next year.
You gotta say former all-star, Cliff. I heard Shannon Sharp say.
I'll agree.
I heard Shannon Sharp say this not too long ago. Q,
Thank you for checking me on that.
You probably heard him say this, Q. He said, in life, they tell you should always update your resume every 6 months.
Yep.
So I don't care what you did, Ben Simmons, a year or two. I mean, actually anybody. I won't even just pick on Ben. What you did in the past is in the past. What you do for me, like you always say, Cliff, what have you done for me lately?
I completely agree. I completely agree, but the only thing that I will say that gives me a little bit, a glimmer of hope, so to speak, is the fact that when you look at his body of work, it's been consistent throughout, has not wavered. Scoring has always been an issue. But when you look at his body of work, the things that he does well, it's not like he's taken a year off, anything like that. Whatever took place that stopped him from playing, I don't know, but it must be serious enough for him to need the time. Because otherwise, he's never shown me that he's going to curl up before.
Well, the game has evolves. It evolves so much.
But a 6'10" point that has defense. That's his biggest attribute. That's what people lack to understand about Ben Simmons is his biggest attribute is his defense. He can guard the 1 to the 5.
Again, we've seen him guard the 1 through the 5. We don't know if...
You're right, but he's also never wavered. So the only thing that would stop him from being able to come back and do so is this quote-unquote back injury.
It's kind of like Zion, right? Do these guys have potential if they were to be healthy and be playing? And could they be a problem on the court? Absolutely.
I feel like Zion took a year off.
Somewhat, yeah.
No offense. I mean, get your money how you get it.
No, I wouldn't be disrespectful and say no, but offense.
No, I said Ben Simmons did too.
I mean, but that was offensive.
Oh.
That was offensive, and I understand. I guess it was just as offensive with Zion, right? Because, well, no. The only reason why I say no is because Ben had kind of sat before he got traded.
Mm-hmm.
Zion had already been out before they got into the finals, or not the finals, but late in the playoffs, second round. And neither one of you came back. So it's offensive, but not offensive in both ways because Ben had never stepped out on the court in a Nets jersey. So you can't hold it against him like he played a game and then was like, nah, I'm sitting back out. You knew what you was getting when you traded for him. So it's not as offensive when you really think about it. And right. Then when you think about Zion, he was hurt or whatever you want to call that long before y'all made the playoffs. So you can't all of a sudden try to rush his recovery or return because now y'all made it to a position to where y'all didn't think y'all was going to be. That's the whole point of y'all's moves in the first place, right? To better your organization. So now instead of attempting to rush back your star player, how about once again, hope that when y'all get him back, y'all go further, like Cleveland.
The Pelicans are in a position where that's our best bet.
What?
Cater to this man. You're not going to get nobody else. You're not going to get another Zion Williams.
No, Zion only comes around one time, and I don't. One time.
He says he wants pancakes. Give him the pancakes.
Don't get that man no fucking pancakes unless they keto.
Give him the pancakes.
Unless them motherfuckers is keto cakes, don't give him shit. Don't get that man shit. Because like you said, it's a chance that you did take a year off. And you weren't in the best shape when we got you from Duke. If it's not time to buckle up and get your shit together, it never will be, bruh. And you just got us for this contract, but that's fine. But if now's not the time for you to buckle up and we don't start seeing a defined Zion, I want to see him like he's about to hop into the ring.
They've been showing him
he looks a lot better. He does.
They show.
I said that last episode.
Shit, every time, I feel good after I work out. Goddamn it, take a picture and
Right, everybody's tight when they in the mirror of Planet Fitness snapping a selfie.
So.
But now's the time. I just think that I don't know if I answered. I think that there's a chance that you could see the Nets in the finals if all that comes to fruition. There's a chance.
Over Boston,
there's a chance.
But over Miami,
I can see.
There's a chance. Yes. Look at all the players that they got along with him. They got Dragic. They got Curry. They got they got a bench now. Like let's not sleep on the Nets. The only issue
Dragic
is
gone.
chemistry.
Dragic is gone.
Did he leave?
Yeah, he's in Chicago.
Did he leave? That's what's up. I know you happy.
No, I'm not. I'm not either here nor there.
Man, Dragic is like a Ricky.
He's not. No offense. He ain't gonna push the needle. I mean, it's gonna pretty much.
He's not gonna push the needle, but Dragic is, like I said, a Ricky Rubio.
He's a welcome piece.
He's gonna make a difference on your team day one.
Like I said, he's not a bad addition, but at the end of the day, it's not gonna push the needle.
Well, what y'all gonna do when you get Lonzo and Alex Caruso back?
Well, you run Dragic at the 6. He's proven that he's more productive.
But is Alex the 6?
I'm not saying I don't want him on my team. I'm just saying, look.
But isn't Alex the 6? Alex don't start. Lonzo starts. Then Alex comes in.
The East is real deep.
So that would make Dragic more like the 9 because you're not a 7 as a point guard behind 2 good point guards.
But you look 9 in a rotation.
9, right? You just drop from 6 to 9 because your 6 is the same position as you. So you're not 7 now because the 6 is a point. So now that drop shoots at 9.
I retire at that point. Oh, you a 9 now? I'll retire.
Not if you can still. That's what I'm getting at. Is not if you can still produce and make your money.
No, they'll win, especially because look.
2.5 mil is still a lot of money.
Regular season, your point guard is going to give you maybe 33 minutes a game. You're going to have that.
Depending on who it is.
Yeah, but you're going to have the other 15 minutes covered. You need 15 minutes out your
Alex Caruso, bang bang.
Oh, he's more.
But no, you know what? At the same time, both of them were injured at the end of the season this past season. So Dragic may bump up from that 9 spot. Dragic may bump up from that 9 spot to that 1 spot real fucking quick. looking at Chicago. Right.
Well.
So yeah, I think that's a good pick. I agree with you, though. It doesn't necessarily move the needle, but he will make a direct impact and difference from the moment he steps on the court. Oh, no.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, he don't.
No. That's a whole nother conversation. It just popped in my head, but it's cool. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna put them out. I'm gonna say that it's possible for them to make the Eastern Conference Finals and possibly the finals. I would just, if I was putting odds out there like Vegas, for the Nets to make the Eastern Finals, probably put them at like a. I probably put him at like a 12-1.
So where do you put the Bucks at?
Well, the Bucks, once again, I don't feel like they made enough moves to really, like, I feel like they're so infatuated with Giannis that they don't think that they have to put pieces around to assist. And they haven't made a lot of moves to me. You got rid of DiVincenzo. Yeah, you just signed Ibaka back, but Ibaka ain't been shit for real. What, he playing 37 games last season? Something like that. Something crazy like that. But you haven't done enough. Yes, they're good enough on their own that they're constantly going to be in the second round and beyond of the playoffs. But if you're not making moves, I don't know. I don't really look at them as a threat.
I can see the Bucks' way of thinking is that they had a healthy Chris Middleton. Nothing was stopping them from going to the conference finals last year.
Right.
So with that being said, knowing for that main stretch where you needed him, he was out. And so running back, they got the running back mentality. Maybe we would have had back-to-back. I mean, that's just, you know Giannis, and they confident. They don't want too much change.
I agree with that thought process.
And Drew actually was on the ascend getting better
Right.
defensively and
Right.
hitting 3-point shots. If you look
Right.
at
The
last
threes
season,
was my biggest concern. But go ahead.
yeah. So missing that 3-point production from Chris was big. It was real big, and I don't see a need running back.
Well, see, my whole thing is this, right? It's similar to Chicago. If Chris Middleton is out for you in the postseason, then yeah, you hope like the Cavs that they come back and do it. But let's also add some, let's reinforce this situation. So if Chris does go out, we at least got somebody else we can bring in. You got rid of DiVincenzo.
But I get it though. They were defending champions, so I get it. Small market, you ain't gonna get too many guys that's gonna say, and Giannis being the centerpiece, Drew is cemented there. So like, where would you really? I mean, you could pick up some role player guys, but what role player guys would want to go there?
Right.
That's what guys in the league you can see playing for Milwaukee. It's not too
Milwaukee
many.
situation is you pick it up in the draft and you pick up fill-in players like PJ Tucker in the meantime every year you see around.
Correct. Yeah.
That's a Milwaukee situation, but at the same time, it's not hard to entice somebody when we got Giannis Antetokounmpo. We in late rounds of the playoffs every year. All we need is a little bit of assistance. I understand that you may not want to be here in Milwaukee, but let's keep it a buck. If you're willing to devote yourself for the next 2 years, I can guarantee you at least one ring.
And that's kind of rounded out my 4 and 5 position in the East. The Bucks and the Nets right there. I can see them. They can give you a headache in the playoff with what they got. Nets even got a little more. They just don't have chemistry.
I think I agree with that. 1,000%.
So you don't put your Cavaliers in the. Well, so where do y'all put?
Well, he said the 4 and 5 spot.
Yeah, I said the 4 and 5 spot.
I see my Cavs being high, barring another catastrophic injury to one of our main players. I see the Cavs high in the playoffs. I see the Cavs easy second round. I could see them getting booted in the second, just from inexperience of being there.
So where's the Heat fall at then, Q?
I could see him in the top 3.
I could definitely see the Heat in the top 3.
I could see Tyler Hero elevating himself from that 6-man role going into the starting lineup next season.
Yeah,
if it stays the way it is.
Yeah, right. If it stays the way it is, I agree.
Him and Jimmy Butler already has the chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Lowry comes in healthy, no nagging injuries. They've been showing pictures all online. I don't know if y'all seen him. He's all super fit now. Been working out. Kyle Lowry.
Oh, for real? He need to be. He's been soft his whole career.
Yeah. So it look like they've been working.
I don't mean soft.
Basketball chubby.
Right. There it is. I don't mean soft. I mean like body soft.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. So that's I'm glad you kind of tossed me up a easy transition, right? Because per hoopshype.com, of the most discussed in a trade situation, Tyler Hero falls at 6. They say currently the Heat the Heat organization is lukewarm in willing to give up a package to Brooklyn for Duncan Robinson as well as Tyler Hero and potentially a pick or two.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm thinking about that. From a Heat standpoint, you might have got off light if you just given up. Well, no, I apologize. Because I think it was Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, and Bam Adebayo in a pick. In a pick, right. That I don't quite know if I'm willing to do.
Yeah, and I don't even think that's good enough.
Think that what?
I don't think that's going to be even good enough for Brooklyn.
For KD? I don't
No.
know if I'm Brooklyn.
It would be.
Yeah, if I'm Brooklyn, I don't necessarily mind that. Granted, all the pieces I got
got-
from Philly.
You got your potential 2 all-stars.
And who?
Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo.
I mean, I think they're good.
You-
Tyler
players.
Hero is a bad man. He is a bad
That-
man.
He elevates himself into a starting role, especially if, let's say, the Nets don't move Kyrie. Now Kyrie got a running mate, and that boy's fast. He can create his own shots. He can hit it from the midi. He can attack the basket, and his 3 is wet.
I wouldn't mind seeing a lineup potentially in Brooklyn with Tyler Hero and Seth Curry together.
Yeah.
That would be nasty.
Yeah. But then what do you do with Ben Simmons out of that deal?
Ben Simmons is a starter if you come back the same Ben Simmons.
But him and Bam on the contracts can't be in the same roster.
Right.
Now, if the Nets feel like he's that much of a problem, it has also been reported by multiple entities that the Heat is the only system that could possibly fix Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
I gotta laugh with that.
He's coming to Miami, Q.
I don't think that that's wrong either. Like when you think about a Pat Riley, Nick Spoelstra, I don't think that that's too wrong. I kind of think that Ben Simmons fits into that organization a bit. You just need your edges sanded.
Well, if Nikola Jovic lives up to his potential,
Yeah, Jovic is that guy.
and pushes himself into that starting role like early,
I can see that happening too.
then it makes sense.
But that doesn't happen if you get a KD. Jovic has a 3-year trajectory before you see him on the court consistently if a KD comes.
I think a KD will elevate a guy like that.
I think so too, but I think it'll elevate him to do more from the bench. You won't see him actually taking on that responsibility for a three-year time frame. I guarantee it. If KD comes. If KD does not come there, I can see Jovic working his way into that starting lineup within 24 games.
Well, you know that's what we do down in Miami anyway. We insert
you
them
mean?
guys. We insert them guys when they don't think they're ready to go.
Right. Nick
You know what I
Strus.
mean?
Nick Strus was actually as an honorable mention. He was number 7 on that list.
See, Max Strus?
Max Strus. Yeah, Max Strus. He's
Max,
stuck on
right.
Knicks today.
Right. Who was the last Nick I brought up?
He said Nick Spoelstra.
Right. Yeah. That's
And
where
it's
that
Eric.
came from.
And it's Eric.
That's it is right,
Nick is his cousin, Q. You ain't no damn.
man. You don't know about Nicholas?
Man, I don't know that I know Saint Nick.
No. You know how slick back his hair is. You don't know about Nikolai? Spoelstra? Nikolai Spoelstra. That's a bad man.
I went to school with a dude named Nikolai.
Listen, you thought that Spoelstra's 2.3 points per game in Portland was a lot. Look up Nikolai.
What he had, 1.5?
Listen, he was dropping 4.3. But his assist was major. But moving on. I do want to drop real quick, other than that Tyler Hero situation, 5 through 1 of the most discussed in trade rumors. 5 is Russell Westbrook of the LA Lakers, linked to the Kyrie Irving trade, of course. 4 is RJ Barrett of the New York Knicks, linked to the Donovan Mitchell trade. 3 was Kyrie Irving of the Brooklyn Nets, linked to the LA Lakers. 2 was Kevin Durant of the Brooklyn Nets, linked to the Miami Heat. And 1 was Donovan Mitchell of the Utah Jazz, linked to the New York Knicks, which I find ironic because him out of all the other ones was supposedly just being shopped around. He said he was interested, wasn't nothing strong, written in sand, and then all of a sudden he jumps to number 1 and most discussed over KD and all them. That's tough. But I think you see Donovan still with Utah at the start of next year. Moving on, I do want to get into NBA 22-23's Rookie of the Year predictions. Yes. I want to hear what our thoughts are on the Rookie of the Year predictions, and I guess why if you have a dark horse of the race as well. I mean, if you'd like for me to start off.
I'll start off.
Okay, go ahead.
I think the Bulls got a white dude named Simonovic. I want to see.
Now, is that your Rookie of the Year, or is that your dark horse?
That's my dark horse.
Okay.
No. Rookie of the Year.
You sure Simonovic?
No, Simonovic. Yeah.
Right.
But
okay.
Paolo Banchero looks like he belongs. I like Jabari Smith on paper, but I think this is going to be the first time in a while the number 1 draft pick is a Rookie of the Year. So this is the first time in a while. I can't confirm that either. But Paolo Banchero, my name. Put me on the board, man.
Yeah, thinking back on the last couple, I can't think of a first rounder. Well,
first pick.
Right. I said first round. First pick, right. What about the infamous Ben Simmons situation?
Somebody's be injured for that.
Didn't Ben go number 1 and he was hurt? He was hurt the first year, and Donovan Mitchell was upset that they gave it to him the second year.
First natural? I don't know.
First natural? No, right.
Give me something. I'm just trying. You ask me who?
No, I think you are correct when you think of that, because I honestly thought they should have gave it to Donovan Mitchell that year as well.
I think Paulo can be the Rookie of the Year. He's on the team where they need somebody like him to step up and score points. You don't want Magic.
That's exactly what I wanted from you. Not really, but really. And the only reason why I say not really is because that was my pick as well, for the exact same reason. Really, because you're going to the Orlando Magic. You're needed in the position that you're coming into. And the skill set that you currently have within your summer league, and once again, it's just the summer league, but to end 25-5 lets me know that not only are you looking for your bucket, but whoever else's bucket as well. And with you still got Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony, and Mo Bamba on that motherfucker. You're gonna have opportunities at assists, rebounds, and points in an Orlando situation.
Yep.
I think Jabari gonna eat though too. Just said that.
You said you think Jabari what now? He gonna eat? Yeah, nah. I think he's gonna eat. I just don't think he's gonna eat as expected. I think he's gonna eat more so on the defensive end of things. I don't think he's offensively gonna be what everybody was expecting him to be. And some of the reason why I say that was his summer league performance. And I know we say we don't, hold the summer league high, but you struggled in the summer league. So if you're struggling in the summer league, I can only imagine it takes a while for you to catch on to the rhythm of the actual league. Yeah. That's why I say defensively, he'll look great starting out. Offensively, I think it's going to take him mid to late season before you start seeing high scoring games out of him. Consistently, I'll say. Consistently. Yeah, no, I agree with that. My dark horse is going to be, I actually have two, right? You expected me to go with the Cavs, Ochai Agbaji.
I didn't expect you to do that.
Well, it would have been wrong for you not to, because his skill set is similar to Paulo. And I don't mean skill set, like, as a whole. I just mean his skill set as far as what he brings to the organization he's coming to is necessary. So you're going to see them get a lot of touches where they ended up going, and that's going to be a good thing for both of them. But I would say that's my number 2 dark horse. My number 1 is going to be Keegan Murray out of Sacramento. Yeah, coming out of Iowa. And it's
Keegan, man.
Same situation where, think about Sacramento, you're needed. You're needed in that situation. Your skill set offers a lot to what they need. That's my number 1 dark horse, Keegan Murray.
I'm going with Chet Holmgren. I think him and Josh Giddey are going to do some amazing things this season. And what is it, Shai or Shea?
Yep, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, I think Chet is going to really play well with Giddey and that Thunder team. I think he'll continue to develop.
My nigga Poku, man. My nigga Poku.
Pokusevski, the Slim Towers.
They need to feed these niggas, man.
Right.
Chet needs to put some weight on.
Chet and Poku.
My mama need to pull up with that meal. Like, hey, look, I got a whole tray of ribs and macaroni and cheese.
Listen, we got neighborhood ladies all throughout this motherfucker that we can set up for your meal prep.
You need a plate with aluminum foil on top of it.
Right. with where you hold it, you got all that shit on the bottom of your hand because it's dripping out of the sides.
That's why they got them grocery bags.
Right. Right. Tie that motherfucker up.
All them problems.
Chet or Poku, I'm willing to bet my life savings of $20 that neither one of them had a meal like that. You might have dined at a soul food spot, but nobody ever handed you a K. Rogers bag with 2 plates, one on the top and the bottom, with some aluminum foil on top.
One is just sides and one is just meat.
I'm telling you.
Been there.
But you got a dark horse, Mount. I'm actually glad that you said Chet, right? Because who?
Kenny Lofton Jr.
Ooh. Ooh. I like that. I like both your picks.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched just a little bit of Summer League, not too much, but
I really like your picks. I was about to say that before you said Kenny Lofton Jr. Only reason why I'm not really on the Chet train is because, like I said last episode, I don't know how long he's going to last. I don't know how long he's going to last banging around those bodies like that. Doing what you're expected to do, going up for blocks. Yeah, you broke the Summer League record, but that might be to your detriment because you go up for a block on somebody like LeBron cocking down, coming through the lane at 21 miles per hour. You may break a bone.
Yeah, that's a business decision.
Yeah.
And this is your first year in the league. Think about it. You don't know what not to do and to do. And you're overzealous. And if I got an opportunity to block LeBron, regardless of how strong my bone density is, I'm trying to take it. I'm taking that motherfucker. Because if I pull this off, that could be the last play I ever play in. People gonna remember me. But if I don't, I'm breaking an arm and they gonna have to unwrap my shit from the basketball hoop. So I don't know. I like Chet. I don't know how long you last going through this season. I say a good season for him.
Gain weight.
He has to gain weight, but he's a rookie. He doesn't have enough time to do so. I would say a good season for him would be 44 to 47 games played. That's just my opinion. And that's me saying I don't think he lasts the whole season. Or if he does last the whole season, he takes a lot of time in what did we call it?
Load management.
Player or load management games, right? So I think a good season for him, 47. I'll say 47 to 52.
What is
Let's give him a little bit more.
What is the acceptable amount of games
for a rookie, or for just somebody of that stature?
You can level it up for a rookie or a professional. But look, how like is it 60 games where we start counting like?
That's a good round number, and the only reason why I say that is because I expect my rookie. We know the rookie wall is real. I expect my rookie to make it through 3/4 of the season for me to think I cashed in on my investment. If you can make it through 3/4 of the season, you did great. In my opinion. If you can make it through 82, if I'm being honest, I'm a little concerned because we had that conversation where the only players that make it that many games are the Tristan Thompsons, the Loonies, those are the players that are kind of like, that's my deal. My thing is being, like Malcolm said, durable.
I get rebounds.
Right, I'm a durable garbage man, to bring it around full circle.
Oh, yes.
So if I got a rookie that made it all 82, that just means you weren't going hard enough, in my opinion. But I expect you to make it 3/4 of the way through. If you can make it to 72 as a rookie, that's a perfect season. And be productive throughout, that's a perfect season in my book. If you only miss 10 games as a rookie and have a effective, efficient season, that's a perfect, you just pitched the shutout. In my book, at least. And I'm not nobody. I just said my life savings is only $20, so. But what about you, Q? Who you got? I know you going with Paulo.
I got to.
I know you going with Paulo. That was a fact. I could have wrote your shit down for you.
Yeah, big body.
And I will also like to add to our audio listeners that Q was the only one to predict him to go number 1 first round.
Number 1 overall.
See, Q.
Right.
Well, you know.
Look your sources, dog.
Nah, man, it's all up in here.
Right.
It's all in the head.
I know that's right. You got any dark horses?
Man, my dark horse, man, I'm looking at this team in Portland. And you get a Lillard to come back. You get a healthy Nursef, young guys. They even got Jeremy Grant over there. I'm looking at a rookie that can produce. A guy that came off the bench in the summer league in Jabari Walker.
Okay.
He averaged 12 and 9.
Okay.
63% from the field, 43% from 3 summer league.
Okay.
I'm just looking at him, man. Nice size, 6'9", 215. Need to put some meat on the bones.
Right.
But with what Portland's doing, we're not sure if they're even going to be a playoff team next year. So that's open floor for him to shine, and he has that kind of game. So I'm looking at him, knowing that he can shoot, knowing Dame demands a lot of attention, kind of like that Kuzma, Robert Horry role. Hey,
right.
get in the corner.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
And I think if he shoots, around 40% from 3 and over 60, a little over 60 from the field during the season, the points gonna catch up, and he'll be at the top of that MVP or that rookie race.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I've been watching him.
Guess we got a little bit more time. So what I will do, just to keep it true to the title of the show, is run down the Summer League recap. Not much here to run down, so. But winners were the Portland Trail Blazers, as I think we might have discussed that off air.
Yeah, I was telling you they won like championship style bling rings.
Right. Yeah, that was when the game we was talking about that.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, they beat the New York Knicks in the championship 85-77. Didn't really care to look up too many other stats than that. But congrats to the Portland Trailblazers. Also, Summer League MVP is my dark horse of the Rookie of the Year, Keegan Murray, the Sacramento Kings. I noticed out of the top 10 in scoring in the Summer League, there was only 3 rookies included. All the rest were sophomore players, of course. I think Moses Moody leaded that scoring list with 27.5 per game of the Golden State Warriors. If I'm remembering correctly. That's just me thinking off top. Usually I write shit down, but I didn't write that. But of the 3, this is what I thought was interesting, that were in the top 10 in scoring, you had Keegan Murray with 23.3 points per game. You had Paolo Banchero with 20 points per game. And then you had Benedict Mathurin of Arizona. He had 19.3 per game. And once again, I have to say this every time we talk about the Summer League. I understand that it is just the Summer League. But when you get that kind of points per game in a 5-game stretch, that lets you know that they are at least naturally capable of making those numbers.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, now let's be honest, the degree of difficulty is stepped up when you get into the actual league. So those numbers may be that accurate, but the natural ability is around that number, point you put up. So I think that's good for them. I don't even know if I want to bring that up. Keep it, but
what? Bridges?
No. And I've seen that, and I know everybody that watches basketball is probably wanting us to chime in on that. But right now, I feel like there's still a lot of facts coming out. I'm not trying to, and let's be honest, everybody that has even tuned in for a minute of this motherfucker knows I'm very opinionated. I'm not trying to say nothing crazy about a young man. So I don't even want to talk about the situation. But to everybody on the audio, just to give y'all the information, he's charged with, they say, 3 counts of domestic violence, 1 on a lady, and I guess 1 was on a child or something.
Shit got serious.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm speculating. The only reason why I say that is because I know before they charged him with the 3 counts of domestic violence, they charged him with an endangerment of a child. So now that the 3 came out, I figured that's what that was. But once again, facts haven't been laid out. No point in talking about it. What I was saying was, per other news, they're stating that the potential Philadelphia 76ers lineup is projected to be 3rd best in the NBA.
Who are the top 2?
And that's a good question, right? That was the immediate question that came to mind, and it didn't state it in the article. But I also didn't have enough time to look into it because that was literally the last thing I wrote before I loaded up the podcast. But I guess they're stating that with, of course, James Harden, Joel Embiid. They expect Tyrese Maxey to step into that starting role there. Tobias Harris has already been there. And then they just got the addition, accused dude, PJ Tucker.
Not my dude anymore.
Right, well, I don't know. Sometimes it's once a Cav, always a Cav. I feel that way about Kyrie. I feel that way about Richard Jefferson, even though he out there fucking up calls on the court now as a referee.
We should talk about that real quick. That was an interesting. I don't know if this ever happened before, but I'm kind of interested in that as far as like switching places because like Richard Jefferson was on the floor officiating, and there was a referee in the booth doing what he did. So it's kind of like an even trade off.
So wait, you think that the dude in the booth called the same call as Rich did originally that got overturned? Is that what you were saying when you said that?
No. So what I'm saying is, while Richard Jefferson took a quarter to be a referee took a quarter to be a color commentator.
I'm still lost, G. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, help me.
Okay, so Richard Jefferson is usually a color commentator.
Right, correct.
So he ended up being a referee.
Right.
A referee got to be a color commentator.
Oh, that like who filled the position essentially?
Exactly. Like I think your job is easy. I think your job is. That's what happened.
I actually like the sound of that.
But Richard Jefferson had the harder job because being a ref.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say he made bad calls, but shit, being a ref.
Listen, where is that? Where is that? I wrote it down somewhere. I seen this meme after he had that game. It was a meme. It said no. It said it had his face up there as the referee, I guess, calling that first call. And above it, it said Richard Jefferson. And it said 11 missed calls, 5 incorrect gestures, 1 bald head. It had me dying. I was screaming when I saw it after I saw that shit happen in that game. But what was it? It was a possession call that he got wrong.
But he also got like somebody shot a 3 and he was right behind him, and he didn't do this. He didn't do that.
What'd he do?
He didn't do nothing.
Oh shit!
He that was the whole problem.
That's crazy. No, I didn't know that about that. The one that I saw was that possession call where the ball went out of bounds and he reversed it. Like he was consulting. Like usually you see other refs come over. He was consulting with the players. Like, oh, did I?
Ball out.
It came off my nigga. It's them. I'm sorry. That shit was funny, man. But yeah, other than that, before we wrap up, the third in the league, you think that's accurate with that lineup? You think it's accurate that a James Harden, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, and PJ Tucker lineup ends up being third in the league?
That's the same lineup besides PJ Tucker.
I mean, they still talking about Houston Harden. I mean, what are you expecting?
Oh, right. I see what you're saying.
What are you expecting to get out of Harden because he hasn't proved it?
I mean, but to play devil's advocate, Harden's always been an excellent regular season player. It seems like when the pressure's on the line is when you start seeing the holes in his pipes.
Yeah, but the games he had played in Philly, though, it was like one game here, one game there. It wasn't a consistent body of work to where you can say that's a potent matchup.
Right.
You know, from a starting 5 or, per se.
Right. No, I completely understand what you're saying there.
I mean, it has the potential to be if he gives you your.
Well, that's what they said.
25. It has the potential to be.
That's what they saying. Potentially, that could be the third in the. Well, they said potential starting lineup, meaning that might not even be exactly what they go with. Because they also said Matisse Thybulle might be involved in that starting lineup. And if I'm involved, I'm at the point now where I start to question: should Matisse take Tobias' spot? And Tobias come off the bench?
Yeah.
Because Matisse has proven to be more efficient, more effective. Tobias is in the realm of slowing down from what he used to be. I've always said we've never gotten the Tobias from Orlando. And we doesn't include me but you know what I mean. I always do that.
I mean, Matisse also gives you more on the defense end and on
Right.
the boards too compared to Tobias. So
I mean, they have a nice
he ain't wrong.
rotation regardless.
Rotation is good.
Right.
This one down, they just trying to score.
So yeah, I guess to sum it up, I don't know if that's so true as the third best starting lineup. I mean, I guess it could be potentially true if you put the right combination together and they did mesh well. But my only criticism with what is also agreeing with what you said originally, beyond do we get Harden from Houston, I've always said I don't like the way they work together. They do better when they play separate from each other than when they play together on the court. So I think squeezing all of that talent into a starting lineup may not end up getting you third best in the NBA. But I mean, that could be wrong, because defensively that looks great.
Mm-hmm.
That looks great from a defensive standpoint. But I don't know about third in the NBA, and I'm gonna do my research. I'm gonna do my research to try to see who the first and second were.
I know, touching on Harden, it was reported he signed his 2-year deal.
Oh, already?
With Philly.
How much did he sign it for?
2 years, $68.6 million.
Okay.
1 year player option, so he can go back into free agency next year if he wants. And
relatively conservative. He hit him across the head yearly, but he was like, just give me 2 years. Right, give me 30 for 2 years. And that's in the grand scheme of things, that isn't too bad.
Nah.
They negotiated the. He might not get all that up front, but he might get like some Allen Iverson shit where when he's like 35 or 36, he's getting like $2 million. They do that shit a lot. They don't give you all that shit up front. Chris Bosh still getting paid.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a few of them that's still like that. It's definitely a few of them that are still like that. But yeah, I just don't agree. I don't agree. I think overall they may have a good team, and I wasn't even thinking about them in the East when I was saying when you was talking about the 1 through 3 and the 5 and the 4 and the 5 be the Nets and who else did you say? The Bucks.
Yeah, the Nets and the Bucks 4 or 5.
Wasn't even thinking about the 76ers. So, I mean, that makes for a very interesting season. And all I can say is I'm here for that. But yeah, I don't got much else.
DeAndre Ayton signed that max contract, and Austin Rivers got signed to the Timberwolves.
Austin Rivers to the Timberwolves.
I mean, does it make them better?
They said it provides a good.
I don't think it. Yeah, I don't think it hurts.
And a 3-point shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about
I'm
that.
going to hit y'all when I hit the showers.
Yeah, who's your hit him?
LiAngelo Ball.
LiAngelo. Why he gotta hit him?
He gotta hit him. You know what time it is.
He didn't have a bad summer league.
If at first you don't succeed,
try again.
Maybe next year, my nigga.
He didn't have a bad summer league. I mean, it wasn't extraordinary.
I'm just saying this nigga need to play in Latvia.
He was playing in Latvia after college.
He didn't make a comeback.
That's crazy. Who's anybody else hit the showers?
I got Kendrick Nunn.
Why you Kendrick none in it?
I don't know if you guys seen it, but this past weekend while you had the Drew League going on, he put out on his social media that Drew League lit got to make an appearance soon, and all the Laker fans went nuts on him. You had one guy say to do what? Sit on the bench wearing your $200,000 chain, bro not going there to pick up a basketball. You had one guy say, Drew League, aren't you supposed to be playing for the Lakers, bro? You scammed us all.
These is fans or
these are Laker fans.
No, that's okay.
Petty Laker fans. That's what they call. I don't know. You had one girl named Erica. You haven't even made an appearance for the Lakers, my guy. They were all over him. I can't find the one from the guy that actually claims to be petty Laker fan.
Damn.
But it's more tweets just to go down the line, just because he said he should make an appearance at this past weekend.
That's messed up.
Hadn't even gotten the lineup all season for the Lakers.
I ain't even trying to get my G or something.
Hey, I guess he's the Lakers' Ben Simmons.
I gotta hit him. Especially since my pussyfooting around.
What you mean? I already know my hit the showers, G. I'm just over here waiting.
Well, who's your hit the showers then? Kid Fresh?
Kyrie Irving. Making promises he never can keep.
What's the promise?
Talking about he was going to play in the Drew League. Told everybody he was going to play in the Drew League. At the last second, just didn't show up. Even the coach thought he was supposed to be there.
Good one.
Now he did help out. He did go help out one of his former coaches at his basketball camps. But it's the principle, bro. You knew you was going to do that. You should have gave him a heads up and said, change of plans, or I'm not going to be able to make it, or yada, yada, yada. You just didn't say anything. And then the day of, everybody's like, well, where's fans, teammates, coaches? Well, where's Kyrie? I thought Kyrie was supposed to be coming. He ain't play.
I mean, that's that king of the high school shit.
Well, that shit.
Drew
I mean, maybe he had a bar mitzvah or something to go to.
Yeah, they know where he was because he had pictures on Instagram, but he didn't tell nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Just hey, you know.
Yeah, nah. I'm gonna give my hit him to all the Laker fans. Not all of them.
That Cliff didn't have a hit the shower, so he just picked something random.
Nah, not all of them. I'm gonna give it to about 65% of them. All the ones who was screaming about needing Westbrook out of there, and then feeling better about the fact that they all had a conversation.
And that's incorrect. That's definitely an incorrect statement. No one ever said that. Now you just made that shit completely.
Why you feeling like it's personal?
I
didn't say nothing about them niggas making a vow. I didn't say nothing about that.
I know. I'm just saying because that's not. I don't think that's how the majority of Lakers fans feel. I don't think that we care that they made a pact or had a conversation and said we're going to try to do this together. We're going to do this. We still don't want Westbrook. We don't want him. We don't care for him. I don't care if they made best friend bracelets. We still don't want him. Your ass gotta go.
So why ain't y'all motherfuckers out there petitioning for Kyrie?
Because all them motherfuckers gonna contribute $47 million to Jeannie Buss to get rid of his ass? Because Jeannie got the money, but she's not about to eat that shit.
I wouldn't eat it either, man. But nah, at the end of the day, I don't think y'all gonna find a
suitor. Right.
Yeah. And I don't think that conversation even happens if there's one potentially on the table.
Right. I think we're stuck with what we got. And Jeannie already said, Cliff and Q, that she's tired of, well, allegedly, she's not going to keep dishing away our future with picks and potential players when LeBron only has a certain, time length left of playing. She's not going to sacrifice the now or the later for the now. She wants to keep looking at, the post LeBron life too. You know what I mean? That's the thing. She ain't about to eat that money and
that's the best for y'all. Y'all got to eat it one year, and if bringing confidence to Westbrook, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all doing my nigga dirty, man.
I'm just keeping it
dirty.
Hey,
man, watch what his overall is going to be on 2K this year.
No, but you know what though? They had a potential, just like Philly, when they trying to say they have the top, a top 3 lineup. They just like Philly because they have the potential. If you get your close to a triple-double average out of Westbrook, you know what LeBron's gonna do.
Right.
You just need 80 to last about 60 good games, make it healthy into the playoffs.
Well, we know LeBron.
Then better be the back end 60. He better sit the first 22.
We know what LeBron's gonna do when he plays, but again, he's also been having a continuous nagging groin injury for the past few years now that seems to be getting worse.
Yeah, but if he makes it into the playoffs, though, he ain't gonna let a groin injury stop him from a title run.
Yeah, well, shit. He did when it. Matter of fact, that was the criticism he got last year when it came to a chance of us getting into the playoffs, like games he could have played to help bolster our chances. He didn't play.
And you be adding to a diagnosis where you heard they said it's getting worse.
And that's just clearly, Cliff. If you get injured with something and it keeps reoccurring as you get older, to me, it's happening more often. I mean,
So, like I said, you adding to the diagnosis because my whole thing is if I have a groin injury and it's getting quote unquote again worse, I'm not playing in a fucking Drew League. Why am I playing in the Drew League?
That's why he played, Cliff, to show everybody. That's actually another reason besides the PR why he played, to show everybody that he's 100% healthy. He's been off for basketball for so long.
But
so y'all healthy.
And I get that, right? But I get what you're saying is what I'm saying that I get. But why would LeBron do that if LeBron can say, I'm not healthy? And everybody's still gonna wait around. That's not gonna take anything off of everybody in the league. Is still want LeBron, even if he just came out and said, "I'm not the healthiest right now, but I'm working on getting there."
Right.
That doesn't take him off the table for anybody. So why would he need a PR move to go and play to prove that he's not healthy that he is healthy if he's really not?
Well, he is healthy. He's saying that he legitimately is healthy. That he feels.
But you just said that the groin injury is getting worse.
Well, Cliff, you have to think once again. If you're 37 years old on season 20 in the league, playing it, what do we say? Is it a 70-something season now? Or is it still 82 games allegedly? Whatever it is, it's an X amount of games for that age, year 20. At some point, that groin injury is probably going to come into effect.
All I'm saying to all my shower heads out there is never let Malcolm diagnose you with anything. Don't go to Malcolm Pediatrics. Don't take his word on any medical, because I can already tell you a hypochondriac by just that statement alone. If the man said he healthy, listen, you can have a groin injury. It's not hard to pull a groin, right? Mm-hmm. Groins heal. Regardless of age, they heal. So you can not be healthy before, and your groin heals, and then you're healthy.
Well, he also is being susceptible to sprained ankles a lot, apparently.
Right, but all I'm saying is it's not like once you hit a certain age, you pull a groin and your groin never get better again. It's always going to be worse. That's crazy.
Wear and tear.
That's
wear and tear.
I just think it's LeBron. Oh.
Yeah. All right, well.
I just think it's LeBron backing his word. He said he's going to be a problem next year. or that was what was reported towards the end of last season, going into the playoffs. He's a little older.
He's really
he got to
never
tune
not
it
been.
up.
He's never not been a
tune it up.
problem. His
I'm just
entire
saying,
year, he haven't been a problem. The issue is, can he make it to the postseason and beyond?
I just think I think this is his way of keeping himself in shape.
Mhm.
Keeping this he's always been a machine. He's always been a workout nut.
Right.
You know, spends that money on his body. But he's a little older now. Workout ain't just gonna work anymore. You got to get the reps in.
Right.
So I understand what he's doing. You know, it ain't no PR stunt to me. I'm kind of scared because if AD is healthy next year, it's a problem. Damn, what Westbrook gonna do?
If his hype videos are true, is
Yeah.
what you meant to say.
Well, yeah, I mean,
That's what you
But
meant to
ain't-
say. If AD's hype videos that he been releasing are accurate, then yeah, that may be a scary combo. Just LeBron and AD alone. Now you add in, like you said, a triple-double averaging Russell Westbrook, you have a problem on your hands.
yeah.
Well, he might be able to bring up Scottie Pippen Jr. They said they're really impressed with how he runs the point.
Well, he's
I
gonna
like
get them.
him too.
He's gonna get the minutes. He's
I
gonna
like
get a
him too.
lot of minutes because of load management on the Lakers team next year. He's gonna get minutes. Thomas Bryant, he's gonna get minutes. Toscano Anderson, he gonna get minutes. The boys gonna get some minutes next
Right.
year. That's why I say keep that trio healthy, and let Darvin Ham coach Westbrook, and Westbrook accepts it. Y'all could be a problem, man. Just like us, potentially, like
Nothing
Philly.
is going to stop. I honestly think that nothing can stop Russell Westbrook, even at this age, other than ego.
True.
I still don't think there's a man in this league that will stop that man driving to the paint if that's what he has in his mind.
Very true.
I still think it is very capable for him to hit them shots that he be trying to take from the threes, even though he's better from the mid-range. I think all that is true, but I think his ego is stopping him from being the player that he can be. And that's just my opinion. But I don't really got nothing else. Do y'all got anything
Nope,
before we wrap this motherfucker up?
Nope. Good luck to the Cavs. I know Miami will be back. I know LA will be back. I don't know about Cleveland.
But good luck to him. Wait a minute. Wait a motherfucking minute. You hold your motherfucking horses. Didn't we get further than you last year?
We got a new sheriff in town, Cliff.
No. Fuck what Darvin Ham is talking about. Fuck this bullet to the face, motherfucker. Because you're not tall enough to take a shot to the face. Unless you can block a basketball with your motherfucking jaw. I'm not worried about what you talking about. You hear what I'm saying? Now, you think that Darvin Ham is good enough to lead your Lakers. No, I'm not hating on my guy because I like his style. But you think he's hot enough to lead your Lakers?
From what Q and them be telling me, they told me he's going to bring something to the squad.
Hey,
You going off another man's word.
one thing I know is coaching though.
Right.
I know coaching.
I trust Q's judgment just because I know
coaching.
No, I like that, but the question has always been, especially with players of those caliber, is who could be coached. And the issue with Russell Westbrook has always been he's not coachable.
Well, it's going to be Ham's way or the highway.
Well, that's why I like what Ham's
He's not-
doing.
He's not in a position where it could be Ham's way or the highway. Because at the end of the day, the Lakers can't do nothing but grit their teeth and bear it if you can't get nothing else out of Russell Westbrook, because he's still going to get his cash.
Right. And if Jeannie has to, she'll cut her. Just like Carson Wentz, y'all.
So why not do it now, right? Why not do it now?
You have to try, Cliff. You got a new coach. You got to at least try and say, well, we did it with Frank Vogel. Tried. We're doing it with him. We tried. It's just not working.
I mean, I love my nigga Russell, but like I've been saying for so many episodes, Lakers isn't a good fit for him. Not this current Lakers.
No, but for 1 year.
Now, what I will say is if you can find a way, I would almost be more, like Malk said, I would almost be more comfortable. He didn't say this, but bringing up Scottie Pippen Jr. and having him play the point as a starter, and then bringing Russ off on the bench with Austin and all them other motherfuckers, where you have room to do what you do. But in the starting lineup, Russ does not have room to be Russ. Well, AD's a big presence down in the paint. As much as he'd like to be a shooter, he's a big presence down there. Don't come down here, because I'm probably down here. So you driving down here is just, you're dunking over me and my man as well. Or trying to. And you don't still have those athletics.
Nope, he sure don't.
LeBron is going to keep moving, or at least wait for you to do something before he requests the ball. So if you can't drive because AD has the paint clogged and you don't have a three-point shot that's consistent enough to continue taking, then you're in a situation where it's like, pass. And that's where the ego comes in place. Your ego is stopping you from being the best player you can be. Because if you were ego-less, I would pass every time. I don't care if I end the point with 0 assists. 0 points. But I bet my field goal percentage is 0% too. Because I didn't take nothing. I just kept passing.
Yeah, that ain't the Westbrook mindset.
Right. That's where ego comes into play. And that's why I say it stops him from being great.
Yeah, he'll never lose that no matter where he plays.
I somewhat agree with that. But we about to wrap it up because we had 207, 208 on the dot, as I said that.
Right here.
So, all my shower heads out there, like, subscribe, tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell them to troll. Do whatever you like. But we'll be back. I'm not talking about the motherfucking ESPYs. I guess we'll be back Saturday to talk more shit. But as a heads up, Wednesday shows will be changing to football coming up here in the next few weeks. So prepare for that. We'll catch y'all next time. Be good or be good at it, motherfuckers.
Well, y'all.